Hello, Dr. Carley. Hello, listeners. This is Pat Jordan coming to you from the Grain Ghetto in Illinois on audio tape. Who was King James VI of Scotland, who became King James I of England? James Stuart was the son of Mary, Queen of Scots, who was born a Stuart, spelled S-T-E-W-A-R-T, in Scottish, because she was the daughter of James V. She was married before, but she later married Henry Stuart, spelled S-T-E-W-A-R-T, who changed to the French spelling of his name, S-T-U-A-R-T. Henry's occulted name was Lord Darnley. Henry and Mary were simply cousins, bloodline couplings. You can already see that when you call someone by a title, you have no idea who they really are. Mary was a great-granddaughter of Henry VII, another title for Henry Tudor, if that was his real name. Mary, Queen of Scots, had her head chopped off. I have exposed minor bits of the confusion around vampires from ancient Babylonia to the present, but I have not yet revealed that the stake in the heart was not the method of killing a vampire, but rather a method of grounding the corpse to the earth as if it were an electrical circuit by pounding a stake through the chest, through the coffin, and into the earth below after the head was cut off. Cutting off the head was the only recognized way of killing a vampire. I'm not commenting on what Mary, Queen of Scots was or was not, just giving a historical observation. So we have a clear bloodline succession of the rulers of England, not some invading barbarian claiming right of conquest. That is, unless you wonder who these bloodlines were and where they originally came from. What we know is that the Babylonian, Sumerian, Egyptian, Hebrew structures is that of intensely inbred lineages restricted to sisters and cousins. Before you take serious offense to that statement, first consider, then confirm for yourself, that Abram married his half-sister, and both Jacob's wives were his first cousins. Jacob was later renamed Israel. That means he struggles with God. Jihad with God. Saddam Hussein married his sisters, as did the pharaohs of Egypt. Franklin Delano Roosevelt married his cousin and treasonously destroyed our constitutional republic. I have to independently confirm the allegation that Mary and Joseph, the parents of Emmanuel, were cousins. To the common man and woman off the street, such incestuous relationships are said to be and enforced as taboo. Funny word, taboo. It is Polynesian for sacred. It means to set aside an object or person as sacred or accursed. I bet you didn't know that. You never would if you didn't look. You would never know that King James and his entire lineage was inbred unless you looked. The breeding of these so-called rulers is reminiscent of mass copulations of garter snakes in Canada that form one writhing pit of serpents in the spring. Funny you should mention garter. Margaret Alice Murray, who is a British Egyptologist, archaeologist, and anthropologist, plus expert of the origins of witchcraft, says that Edward III started the Order of the Garter as a disguised coven. I tried to get her books at my library, but they were marked as missing from shelf. Quite often I do not give my literary references because most of the extremely important works that expose this black magic plot all have the same notice, missing from shelf. You can rest assured that I reference primary source material whenever possible and try to obtain first edition copies to ensure that the work has not been censored. Two introductory resources to the material that I have already synthesized are Cassell Dictionary of Witchcraft, David Pickering, 1996, ISBN number 030435 0982, and Dictionary of Mysticism and the Esoteric Traditions, Neville Drury, 1992, ISBN number 0874366992. See the website http://z13.envisionfree.com/the-unhived-mind. The priest Craig Oxley exposes that George W. Bush is a member of the Order of the Garter. George W. Bush can be traced by the genealogy at http://www.illuminati-news.com/royal-trees.htm. His genealogy can be traced all the way back to Edward I Longshanks of England. The United States of America never ceased to be a British colony. In this same royal tree, you will find that Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, and Colin Powell were all from the same bloodline. This should be of no surprise when you consider that Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin, Yosef Jukoshvili, meaning Joseph Jewison, divided up the entire globe after World War II. Your entire planet of Earth has been basically marked for territory by dogs that all came from the she-dog, whose name would be Lilith. The British Empire never died or faded away. It just changed its name, like British royalty and the names of the demon gods from Babylon to the present. So what makes King James I special? Here's where we must invoke nihilism, the suspension of belief. We must separate what we were told from what we want to believe, from random facts from what we really know. Depending on the biographer and their apologetics, they will give you, quote, facts and then explanations for those, quote, facts. A Christian writer will tell you that King James I often called his male favorites darling or sweetheart, and that it wasn't gay because it was the convention of this era. His bodyguard slept in the same bed with him as a matter of security. He held hands with and kissed men in greeting, but this was all sanctioned by the Bible, the holy kiss, and the convention of the era. I've been around the world. I know that in many cultures men hold hands in public. George W. Bush was filmed holding hands with the King of Saud. I also know that in nearly all of these societies, both modern and ancient, that some of these hand-holding men also buggered young boys, men, animals, and prostitutes. To hold James I to a different standard because of an ideal is wishful thinking, to put it mildly. From whence comes wishful thinking? I must digress at this point to demonstrate that the very notion of wishful thinking is based on the Egyptian mysteries cult's magical thinking. Wishing for a thing makes it so. Nearly every Christian I have met has been infected with this mind virus, including the form of, quote, speak of the devil and he will appear. This premise is based off of the summoning rituals where you would purposely evoke the secret name of the entity you wanted to raise. No danger here, since Hasatan, Satan, simply means the adversary. Just like the devil, it being a derivation of Davos, a Greek word for spirit of the air. They are only titles. Just like the royalty of England, you would never know what their real names are unless you looked.